This special conversation. I think this is quite relevant for all of us because we all know what to do. But somewhere we don't have the discipline to follow through and make it happen. Of course, for everyone, she needs no introduction. Katrina, Karina, Deepika, she trains them, she's the person who's responsible for their fitness. Of course, the clients have their own discipline. Let me ask you, what makes it tough for people to follow a regime, a disciplined approach to fitness? In your interaction with your clients, what have you observed? What are the weak points where they give up, and when they know that they have to do certain things, they still don't do? What have you read? What are the reasons people do that?
Hi everyone, and thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure and an honor to be amongst all of you. And I think the most important thing to know about that is that people set short-term goals. It's like, I want to get fit, I want to lose weight because I have a wedding to go to, or I have graduation, so I want to fit into that dress, or I have a party to go to, it's my 50th birthday or my 40th birthday, and I have to look a certain way and, show the world how young and fit I am then, or if it's my 20th birthday and I want to look sexier than all my friends. So there's always this goal we do, right? And fitness and health is not about a goal. It's not about a short-term goal. It's not a destination. And we've heard it a lot, right? Fitness is a journey, it's not a destination. What does that mean? That means that it's something that you have to inculcate into your lifestyle. And I believe that what people get demotivated with first is thinking of 1 hour of exercise, right? How long do you think you need to work out for it to show results? So everyone will tell you 1 hour, 3 times a week, 5 times a week. Oh, you have a wedding to go to 6 times a week. I tell people less is more. If you've never worked out, if you're a person who wants to restart your fitness journey, you want to get back into it, or you want to start for the first time, 10 minutes a day is enough.
10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day, because you want to make it a lifestyle. You want to inculcate something new. What happens is, if I want to get fit or get on a fitness, wellness journey, the first thing I do is make a plan, work out 3 times a week, 1 hour, give up sugar, stop eating fried, stop eating carbs. So I'm doing so many things together. Obviously, I'm going to fall off the bandwagon. I need to make small changes. And I always believe, do 10 minutes, work your way up to 15 minutes. See what the 10 minutes does to you. Don't listen to the person next to you who lost 25 kilos, because they did a certain thing, because that may not work for you. Your body, your psychology is very, very different. You and all of us have to find something that's going to work for us. So I feel like if you're starting out, if you want to introduce something new, right? It's like a child. When a child comes into, the world or gets born, we start with mother's milk. The first solid food you will give the child, you won't give him banana because it's good, and apple and carrot mash, because you're going to give him one thing. Wait for a while, see how the body reacts, whether they're throwing it up, whether they're taking it in, right? Once they get used to it, you introduce another fruit. And that's the same with our body. Why do we think we're superhuman and we're going to be able to do everything together? Introduce 10 minutes, like it, see the difference. It is 100% going to make you feel better. And then move it up. So when people come to me in my studio and they want to look like Katrina Kaif or Deepika Padukone, the thing I tell them is the best thing about them is consistency. They don't only work out when they have a role to play. Working out is a part of their life. Right? They're constantly working out. Yes, when they have a role to play or a certain way to look, we make it, we increase the time, or we change the routine, or we do something different, we do something dynamic. And it works because the consistency of working out is there. We're not suddenly throwing something new at them.
Absolutely. So consistent, even a 10-minute workout will reap a lot of benefits if you do it consistently. We've also seen a lot of people, I talk to or I have interacted with, they equate fitness with gymming alone. Like gymming, it's seen as that you are trying to follow it in a very disciplined way. How can we make it beyond just the physical, training and look at a holistic approach of inculcating fitness into your daily lives? How do we move beyond that thought that gymming is fitness?
So the one thing that people forget is breath, right? You need to breathe. Even when you work out in the gym, it can be mind body if you bring breath into it. There is even in gymming, there is exhalation and inhalation at certain points of the movement of every exercise. And if people paid attention to the breath with the movement, it's kind of mindfulness. Right? Of course, we have yoga, and I teach Pilates, and Pilates and yoga are both with breath, and it's mind body. Like for me, I feel exercise is my meditation. I breathe through my workout, and it's not like yoga and Pilates are no longer just slow movements where you just breathe because that's what people think it's gonna be long and boring. No, it can be dynamic, and that's dynamic breath. So breath doesn't only mean deep breathing. Breath can be dynamic breath, breath can be relaxing breath, breath can be energizing breath. So there are different kinds of breath which works on your mental relaxation depending on what breath pattern you're using. So I feel like for people who want to have a mind-body experience and love only gymming, bring breath into your gymming. Right? I don't advocate that everybody go to Pilates or everybody go to yoga, because I think all of us have something that we like to do, that we love to do. And I think if you do what you love to do in terms of physical fitness, it's going to become a way of life, and that's going to become consistent.
Right. We have also seen when it comes to diet, there are so many fancy diets around, and for a common person, they think that it's become very complicated. I don't know much about it. So they just wait and they just go on with their lives. Tell us, how do we get rid of those perceptions that unless you follow a fancy diet, you cannot be fit?
When I say diet, what comes to your mind?
So I say I have to cut down on sugar, eat more protein. That's what comes to my mind. Yes.
So the moment you say diet, your mind is eliminating things, right? And restricting things. And somewhere you are not happy doing it, right? So the happy quotient goes out. I hate the word diet. I never use diet. I use a nutrition plan. I use planning my nutrition, planning your nutrition, because it has to be sustainable. It has to be something that you can do for the rest of your life, because you want to cut out things. Why? Not because you just want to lose weight. You want to cut out things because they are harmful for your body. And we all know, subconsciously for some of us, that sugar is poison to our body. Right? It's poison. We know it, but we're still having poison because it tastes good. Because it is camouflaged in so many yummy things, right? So it's okay, I can take a little bit of poison, it's not going to kill me, but it will. Not kill you, but lead to different diseases, and then we're going to doctors to find cures for it. But if we just limit sugar out of our food plan, understanding that it's bad for us, right? Like everybody today here, sugar is poison. Okay, now it's your choice what you go out of this room and how much sugar you consume. But that's always gonna be in the back of your mind, right? Not because it's diet, but because it's not good for my body. We know when we fry foods, there's too much oil. Our body doesn't require, now we can bake the same things we fry. Right? So it's mindful choices that we need to make with our food to get the results that we want to get from them. We want a healthy lifestyle, then we need to cut these out. And the side effect is going to be weight loss.
So, you mentioned, nutrition instead of diet to make it more fun. But how do we make fitness regime more fun, doable, practical? What are some of the tips you would like to share with all of us?
Just come work out with me. No. So, like I said earlier, you need to find something that you enjoy doing, right? Whether it's step aerobics, whether it's Zumba, whether it's Pilates, whether it's yoga. Whatever you like doing is something that you will look forward to doing. When you look forward to doing something, half your battle is lost. You're going to be consistent with it, right? So I think, and all of us have something that we gravitate towards, right? All of us have something that we enjoy doing. I can't believe that anybody in this room doesn't enjoy moving their body in a particular fashion. It could be dancing. It could be Bollywood dancing. It could be making silly reels on Instagram. And for all of you who make those dancing reels, that's your calling. You need to join a dance class or just, for like some time in the day, put on some music and dance. So I think it's just finding the thing that works for you. And I think for me in my career now, 30 plus years, it's been matchmaking people to the thing that they enjoy doing. So I'm a fitness matchmaker.
Essentially, so there are many ways to achieve your fitness goals. It can be gym, it can be dancing, it can be whatever. So that's what you're saying, that we don't have to have these perceptions that only certain things will help you achieve your fitness goals.
The only important thing is that we need to strength train with whatever else we do. And strength training doesn't mean you need to start lifting weights like Salman Khan or Sanjay Dutt. Strength training means you can use your own body weight, because every decade we lose bone density, right? We need to build our muscles to support our bones. So that's the one thing that we all need to do, is strength train in some form or the other. A simple knee push-up or a wall push-up is strength training. Just sitting on your chair and getting up 10 times is squats, and it's strength training.
Right. So, you train a lot of celebrity clients, and they have very busy, hectic schedules. How do you kind of keep up with their routine, and how do they enable that routine?
So I think that's a lesson to learn from the celebrities. Like really, we only see the very glamorous side of them and the side of them going to these parties or, doing these fancy movies or, being stars in whatever they do. But in spite of literally 14 to 16-hour days, they make time for fitness. And they're dedicated. And that's why I said consistency earlier on, that they're consistent. They would come, there are times I work at 12 in the night, and there are times I work at 5 in the morning. So I have people who have a 7 o'clock call time and they want to work out. So they want to come, and you know that, okay, this person's going to have this long day, which is like 14 or 16 hours. So you know that the workout that I need to make them do needs to energize them. It's not a workout that's going to make me show my skills as an instructor of how many different exercises I know and how much I can make you sweat. No, on that day, I'm trying to make them do a workout that they leave feeling good and ready to face the day. Same way if it's in the night, after a full day of work, you want to give a workout that stretches your body, right? Because you've been at work, you're constantly compressed, you're stressed, your muscles are fatigued by just sitting sometimes, which is most of our corporates who are sitting all day. You want to do something that's going to stretch your body out. So I think that's what you need to find, even in your day-to-day life, something that complements your work. So what kind of work are you into, Are you a person who's standing all day cooking? Like if you're a chef, you're standing all day and you feel like, okay, I've burned my calories because I'm standing all day, but you're standing all day doing just one movement. Your body has not rotated, your body has not flexed, your body has not extended, your body has not side bent. Your joints have not moved up and down, your knees have not bent and straightened, your hips have not bent and gone into extension. So you want to look for an exercise program or a form that's going to complement the work that you do. So the next day when you're standing, you're feeling more erect, you're feeling taller, you're feeling longer.
So you have to be very conscious of the kind of exercise you do, you get into after, or on the basis of your daily work or routine. Maybe if you're very tired, maybe it's not a good idea to just go and hit the gym again, right?
Yeah, I just think if we're mindful about our movement will be so much better and speak to us.
Right. 2 more questions and I open this for an audience question. Who's the most disciplined Bollywood star?
I'd never answer this question.
Who all are?
Everybody. I think everybody today who's working in Bollywood is super disciplined because they all know that the competition is really strong now, right? It's cutthroat. And with OTT opening up, there is so much more happening and everybody has to be on top of their game and everybody is doing some sort of fitness or the other.
Right. We can take a couple of questions. Any question?
Please raise your hands and ask your question. We'll have just a couple of them.
Okay, let me ask you.
Oh my God, I've answered all your questions.
This one.
Hi. Like you just mentioned, everybody, all the film stars have to be at the top of their game. You are the top of your game in fitness. I, of course, admire
Thank
that.
you.
I'm a fitness instructor myself. My question is, being in the 50s, I'm also the wrong side of the 40s, how does social media put pressure to look in a certain way? Because for us, our body is our product. We are showcasing ourselves. And, to be in the same space as 20, 25-year-olds who can do, all these kind of
So how do you stay off that peer
movements
pressure? Yeah.
and look, you can eat like, noodles and chug down vodka and beer and still be lean the next day to do a shoot, right? How do you manage?
So for me, I need to be happy with the way I look and the way I feel, right? I am in my 50s, so I mean, I'm not in my 20s and I'm not competing with anyone. The only competition with me and a 20-year-old is the fitness level, and I can definitely beat any 21-year-old with my fitness level. So for me, that's important. I'm not an actor. I'm not a model. I don't need to look like that. Yes, we get trolled on social media for that little stomach fat, but we've had 2 kids, right? And we're still in the fitness industry, still ready to compete with anybody who wants to do a fitness competition and not whatever. So I think it's just being happy, and social media puts too much unnecessary pressure on people. Just live, just breathe, just be who you are and let the comments come. The more negative comments come, that means you're affecting so many people that they have to turn out and say something negative to you. As long as you know the product you're giving out is helping someone, I think that's what's most important.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, there's one more question. Final question, yes.
You said a few, now 2 you're saying final.
So Yasmin, thank you so much. I'm a
Hi.
life coach myself. It's amazing the kind of work that you do, and you're helping so many women
Thank you.
and men, but especially women with their confidence levels, and fitness is one part of it. But I want to know, in your regime and your routine, how do you take time off? What is your de-stress mantra? What do you do to make yourself happy?
I travel. My son's sitting right there and he's like smiling. But no, so I watch Netflix every night. So there has to be 2 hours of Netflix for me every night. And I hate going out in the week when people call me out, because I'm like, no, that's my Netflix time. I don't feel like I can relax till I just sit there and do nothing and watch TV. And I can literally sit for 2 hours without getting off my bed or adjusting myself, just sitting and watching, because I'm so happy doing that.
Thank you so much for that question.
We have some more
We'll
time.
just take
yes.
one last question now.
we have 4 minutes. I just got a prompt. I mean, everybody's enjoying
He's
this.
being kind, he's allowing a few more.
Let's do that, because there's so much to learn from your wisdom and your tall career of 30 plus years in the well-being and wellness space. So let's bring it on.
Hi.
Hi.
So I am also same age, 50 plus. So I also feel like what you're saying, that I feel fit as I did in my 20s, etc. But my question to you is that, you can obviously, in a competition with a 20-year-old, you'll probably come out stronger. But has your diet changed? Like, does a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old diet, how does that vary from somebody who's 40 or 50? So do you eat differently? It's not that you're adding, you're more aware, of course, and you're eating better, I suppose, but do you feel that another 20-year-old or 30-year-old would need to eat differently from what perhaps you and I do?
So I grew up on junk food. And in my days, like in our days, junk food was not burgers and pizzas because we didn't have it, right, in the 80s. Junk food was samosa and vada pav outside Xavier's College.
Chana bhatura.
Yeah, and dosas with like ghee, makhan laga ke. I feel like I eat a lot more cleaner than I did in my 20s, and I tell my 24-year-old son, eat what you want. So I had a rule for my kids when they were growing up. They had to eat clean, right? Because eating clean is not dieting. It's not stopping yourself from eating. They were allowed to order out once a week, which was a Friday. They could order whatever they wanted. They could order Chinese, pizza, burger. They only had to eat a salad before they did that. So it was like, eat what you want, eat a salad. If they went to a birthday party, I would say either the ice cream or the cola. You can't do both, or the cake. Like, choose one thing. So from a very young age, I taught them to make healthier choices or to choose one out of three. It's like when we go to a buffet, right? We think the whole buffet is set for us and we have to eat everything that's there. Well, that's not the case. The buffet has set to cater to 20 types of different cuisines, 20 type of different restrictions in diet, veg, non-veg, vegan, all kinds of people. So we have to make choices on what we want to eat. So I think the difference between a 20-year-old's eating and my eating at 50s, of course, I eat much cleaner. I'm aware that sugar's poison now after having had sugar for many, many years, but it's just also their lifestyle has so much more being thrown at them, right, than we did. There's so much stress, there's so much competition. So if you take care of food, there's so much more that the body has in terms of nutrition to help them fight these things. So if you tell somebody to omit something, I feel like if you give them a reason why to do it, it's going to have a better effect than just saying, oh, this is bad for you and this is bad for you and don't eat this and don't eat that.
Right. Sorry, we're out of time, but my friend there wants to ask a question. Lalita ji, final question. We can take the mic, yeah.
Thank you. What do you drink first thing in the morning? And one more question, hot water is good or warm water to drink?
The first thing I do in the morning is oil pulling. So I wake up and I swish oil in my mouth for 10 minutes and I listen to a verse from the Quran because I'm a Muslim. So that's my time of what I do. And the water that works, that you like drinking. There's no proven fact that hot water is going to do something to you. Room temperature water is as good as hot water. Some people like hot water because they wake up with like a stuffed nose and they just feel like hot water gives them that, cleansing or whatever. But there's no proven fact, I think, which temperature of water is better for your body.
Thank you so much.
All right, I think we have this, and thank you so much for sharing those wonderful
Thank you
insights
so
with
much,
us.
guys.
Can we have a round of applause for Ms. Karachiwala?